Good morning, everybody. Today marks 60 days on the Pacific Crest Trail. Woohoo! No reaction from Goldilocks. Woohoo! Okay, she's thrilled. Thankfully, a good night's sleep has done wonders for her migraine headache, so she's feeling much better than last night. Thanks again, huge thanks again to Emily, Sweetwater Barn Grill, who dropped us out here last night. Saved us a couple of miles of road walking. I don't know if Goldilocks would have survived that hike last night. But as it was, she dropped us off the trailhead, and we only walked up the trail maybe a quarter of a mile to the first flat spot we could find in the dark, which happens to be right here. Pretty weedy, but it was reasonably flat, and we were able to get a good night's sleep. One of the drawbacks is if I can swing around here, you can see right behind my head the giant power pylons, which go all the way. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the power lines. Anyway, so we're directly under power lines, and if you've never slept under power lines before, it's really weird because they pop and crackle all night long, and you keep expecting one of them to break off and fall down on top and electrocute you. I've concluded that sleeping under the power lines has either given me superpowers or brain cancer. I'm not sure which. Maybe both. But it's about 8:30 right now. It's warming up quickly, so we're going to get packed up and try and get some miles on the trail before we have to break for a mid-afternoon siesta. This is a topic I've talked about at least a couple of times before, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but just a minute, which is the big difference, huge difference between the way that the trail town people are portrayed on social media versus how they are in real life. For in social media, I halfway expected that as soon as I walked into a trail town, I'd be met with a big mob with pitchforks and torches ready to run us out of town. But in fact, every town we've entered has been exactly the opposite, and none more so than Agua Dulce. When we came into that town, the first thing I did was go to the hardware store to try and find a replacement for the headlamp that I lost the other day. And the two women working there couldn't have been more helpful. They were nice, asked me questions about my hike, just genuinely pleasant and glad to see me. And then we walked right next door to the Sweetwater Bar and Grill to order our lunch. And again, every single person who worked there just bent over backwards to make sure we were happy, and they talked to us about our hike and told us how glad we were, or how glad they were to see us there, and expressed disappointment that more hikers weren't coming through. As I said last night, one of the workers there, a woman named Emily, voluntarily gave us a ride from town 2 miles out to the trailhead, and there was nothing in it for her. I mean, she didn't ask for any money or anything. She just did it because, you know, she's a genuinely nice person who wanted to help out a couple of hikers that, you know, when Thia wasn't feeling well. And just a genuinely nice expression. And while we were waiting for our food to be prepared for us, we had to wait outside, of course, because you still can't go inside restaurants to eat. And we saw other customers out there, you know, local residents. Again, very friendly towards us, asking us about our hike and, you know, how we like the trail, etc. Yeah, couldn't be nicer people. And as you saw in the video before this, even talked to the local deputy sheriff, and super nice guy. And You would think if anyone would be hostile towards hikers coming into their town, potentially spreading disease, it would be local law enforcement. But no, he was just as nice as can be and expressed the same attitude as everybody else. Wish that there were more hikers coming through, you know, and wished us well on our hike. So so far, I have to, of all the towns we've been through, I have to give Agua Dulce the highest marks for being a hiker-friendly town. And I hope that anybody who might be watching this video who's coming up behind us, please, the town's struggling because of the virus this year and the lack of hikers coming through. So give these people your business, and particularly Sweetwater Bar and Grill. I thought they were top-notch. So anyway, back to the trail. I'd show you just a quick view of the hike just north of Agua Dulce. This trail right now is beautiful, nice, flat, easy walking, wide, no scratchy thorn bushes grabbing at you every time you try to go around the corner. But if you can see up ahead, there are hills in the near future, so I think this nice flat easy walking is going to be short-lived, and we're going to be doing the switchbacks right up to the top of that hill. Well, it's almost 8 p.m. right now, and we are just getting started out after our midday break. We hiked from fairly early this morning until about almost 11 o'clock when the temperature just got too much for us to handle. We were doing a long uphill stretch, and we were just plodding along, so decided the best thing to do is just go ahead and seek out some shade, relax through the hottest part of the day, and then get up and hike tonight. So don't really have a destination for tonight. We're just gonna hike until we're too tired to hike. So hopefully, I'd like to get 10 miles in, but we'll see. Go for it.
So dinner tonight is just basic hamburger helper. This is the cheesy ranch burger, and all I did was take hamburger helper and added some powdered milk, and then I dehydrated some venison at home and kept it in the freezer until it was ready to send out to us so it didn't go bad. So I put all of that in the pot, and then I put enough water to cover it maybe an inch above and bring it to a boil, and that's all it is. Super simple meal and cheap, cheaper than Mountain House meals. So I do that with lots of different flavors of the hamburger helper. It makes a really hearty meal. Dinner in about 10 minutes.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Are you hiding from me? Okay, we just got to our campsite for the night after a very, very long hike in the dark. Let's look Let's do a time check. Yes, indeed, you are reading that right. It is 2 minutes after 4 a.m. How was that night hike there at Goldilocks?
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, the sun will probably be up in about 2 hours. So, anyway, we're going to get our bags out, sleep, before the sun comes up and gets so goddamn hot that we have to pack out again and go find a place with shade, because there's no shade here, just a bunch of tall, scrubby bushes. Good night, everybody. Time 7:05 a.m. Exactly 3 hours after I closed out the last video. Good morning, everybody. It's day 61 on the PCT, and I'm exhausted. Look over my shoulder. Yeah, there you go. You can see the eye of Sauron climbing up over the hillside behind me. And our tent site, where we set up last night, this morning, 3 hours ago, is quickly getting packed up because we need to move and get to another location. This was a great campsite except for two things. There's no water here, and there's no shade. So when that sun's a little higher in the sky, it's just gonna cook our brains out. So we need to pack up and move several miles down the trail to a place that actually has both water and shade. We literally did not have the energy to do that this morning and pitched here, but that was only temporary. Plus, as you can see, we are once again camped out directly underneath the power lines. So 100% now, I'm gonna get brain cancer. Either that or I'm getting telekinetic powers, because I can swear I can read Goldilocks' mind right now as she's looking at me with, well, I won't tell you what I think she's saying, but my mind knows. And we hiked about 3 hours, roughly 6 miles from, no, felt like it. But we did hike for 3 hours and came to this great little spot here where we're going to spend the rest of the day. It's now, it's 9:45 in the morning. There was a little stream about 200 yards behind us. We got water there. So this is going to be our shaded hideaway for the day. We're going to stretch out, catch up on some much needed sleep, get something to eat. Actually, we'll probably eat before we sleep. And then, as last night, wait until the day cools off and then get out and do some more night hiking. The weather forecast for today was supposed to be 5 degrees warmer than yesterday, and yesterday was hotter than hell. So very happy we have this place to shelter in during the heat of the day. Leaving our campsite for the day. Okay. Heading out. Alright, and back on trail. It's about 8 p.m. right now. We're getting a little later start than we wanted, but it was a warm day. We want to make sure it cooled down, and we were pretty tired from hiking until 4 in the morning. Then getting up at 7 and hiking until 10. So, but we feel pretty good now. So our goal for the night, short-term goal, there's a fire station at mile 476, I think, is it? 478, something like that. That's our goal for the night, about 8 miles away. We'll see how we feel. If we're feeling great, we may keep going, or we may stop for the night and then get up in the morning and hike again. So, here's an interesting sign we ran across right here. The Leona Divide 50. I assume that's 50 miles. versus 50 kilometers. See, the time goes all the way back to 1992, and then we have times. Earl Towner ran this 50 miles in 7 hours and 10 minutes in 1992, and the most recent time I see on here is 2010, which is 7 hours and 19 minutes. So 9 minutes slower than. I'm sorry, my mistake. 6 hours and 25. So, yeah, he shaved some time off of Earl Towner's. So I see what it is now. The men on the left and women on the right. Still, they're smoking it. Think you could beat those times there, Goldilocks?
Nope.
Nope.
I wouldn't even try.
No, I probably couldn't beat it even if I had a motorcycle. Here we have a new creepy crawler.
And another good reason not to cowboy camp.
Yeah. A new creepy crawler. And Goldilocks is so excited to see this ugly little alien monster. She's never seen one before. This is the first one she's ever actually seen that wasn't like in a TV special or something. But this is a good reason to not to cowboy camp if you don't like creepy crawlers, and a good reason to make sure you shake out your boots in the morning before you put them on to start hiking.
Whenever you're going to put your boots on, you got to make sure you shake them out first, and this is why. Look at that.
And there's a number of different desert species. I don't know which species this is. I don't know how dangerous it is. They vary from being almost deadly to being not much more dangerous than being stung by a bee. And I don't know which species this is, but I'm not going to let them sting me to find out. Okay, just hiking along and suddenly came upon the sketchiest bridges I've ever seen.
There it is! The Bridge of Death!
Oh, great.
It looks like there are 5 long railroad ties laid side by side over a gulfing chasm of about 10 feet deep. And to test its strength and stability, I'm going to send Goldilocks across first. Oh no! Help the other with telephone wire. Oh, that's reassuring. Okay, hurry up before it breaks, and I have to have to stay on this side. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, very confidence-inducing. Huh. It's just one of those nights. Yep. All the alien monsters are out in force tonight. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll take the scorpion over that monster. It's monster creature night here on this PCT. And this thing, I think the technical name is a Soldiquid, something like that. But most people know them as camel spiders, or I think sun scorpion, maybe the other name for them. Why don't you give that sucker a little prod with your stick there. So it's pretty chilly out right now. Whoa! Where did he go? Over by my foot. Heading for my foot. It's kind of chilly, so he's not moving pretty fast. But so I like to wake up and have that sucker sharing your sleeping bag with you. No thanks.
Reason 90.
Well, let's see. It's almost midnight, May 16th. We just came to the trail register here at mile 471.
478.
Oh, I'm sorry. God, I can't remember. Mile 478. And anyway, we opened it up, and here's this nice little note that we saw in here. from a couple named Don and Tony. Looks like they actually had made the trip down here to actually want to say hello to us. Oops. Focus, focus. They're enjoying the YouTube videos, so really sorry we missed you guys, Don and Tony. What you probably didn't anticipate is we were going to lay over during the daytime and only hike at night, so we got here a little bit too late to see you guys, but we really appreciate the thought, and thanks for watching our videos. And it looks like there is some water underneath, which we're more than happy to have. If you guys left that, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet you later on down the trail.